All right, what's up, guys? I got a special guest here today, Miranda Maverick. She's a female UFC fighter. She just had her debut last week. Let's welcome her on the show, guys. We have lost connection. So anyway, I'm sure it'll be just a second. Oh, there she's back. She's back. All right. Hey, what's up, Miranda? How's it going?
Good, thanks.
Awesome. So I took a minute and I did some background check on you. So first off, wow, like that was a win in spectacular fashion. She fought October 24th. Is that correct? October 24th for the UFC, her UFC debut, and I'm just gonna show the clip. Like this was a oh my god, vicious elbow. I watched the whole fight. This went one round. Now she set this up. This was awesome. This was before I show, like, was this something that, like, you guys I obviously planned and saw this in the film or whatever? Props to your coaches. Props to you for implementing it in the fight. And, like, man, I just want to show it. I just want to show it, and then we'll get back to some questions. All right, this is Miranda Maverick in UFC 254, correct?
Correct.
All right. All right, here. You could just walk us through this if you want.
Well, we had set up the elbow several times. Of course, it was, like, planned a little bit. Like, we had came up with a few different combinations that would work. She kind of ducks her head down when she...
Boom! Oh, my goodness.
There it is.
Oh, lights out. So, bam! There's another angle. And you took a little shot there. Were you just had your hand down low, or you just prepared to take it?
Just prepared to take it. You know, none of the punches really hurt from her. I obviously have, like, a little bitty black eye, but as far as the striking goes that I receive back in fights, it's usually not as hard as I can hit or as hard as I've gotten hit in training.
Yeah, it looks like you closed the distance a little bit there, so she didn't really get a good extension on it or anything. So
right.
Yep, yeah. That wow. Again, so they stopped the fight after the first round. Let's just watch it one more time. Bink. Yeah, this was something of beauty. So anybody that has ever fought before will understand that implementing your coaches. Let me get this off of here. Implementing a plan, putting it together, and then actually implementing it in a fight is not an easy thing to do.
No, it's really not. But we have planned it several times, and I try to take that as one of my best things. One of my strengths going into fights is that I'm pretty coachable. I listen really well in fights. I kind of swung it the first time, and you can hear my coach in the background saying, wait for it, it'll come back, find the right timing. Because one of the things that we noticed from watching her fights is every time she did clip me or every time that she does connect with punches, it's because she puts her head down and just runs forward. And when you put your head down, you can't see what's coming. So the elbows and uppercuts were just right there.
Yeah, that's so true. That head down thing, I got the same problem. It's almost like, it's just your coaches tell you keep your chin down but not too low because you're going to be able to see. That's great. So also Miranda is only 23 years old. Just so everybody knows, like this is pretty successful debut for a 23-year-old in the UFC. It's kind of like I don't know. In my opinion, you see fighters really do well but not the young fighters. Even though they've got all the talent in the world, they're just not ready mentally. What do you think makes you mentally ready to take on this top level, fighting at such a young age?
Well, I don't want to take away some of the credit from a couple of the young fighters. Like there's Macy, there's Rose, a couple of young girls that came up in the fighting world. But I think a lot of it is we have the potential to improve so much faster than most of these other people that have been in it for 15, 20 years even, and just are not really showing much improvement between fights. How they fight is how they fight. And we have a lot more potential to go back into the training room and add tools to our game.
That's a great answer. I think that I think it might be more towards men or that way rather than women almost. I don't know. There really hasn't been enough data there, I think, for the women yet. But I think that maybe that women mature faster. We know that's true. So, maybe that has something to do with it. I personally, I just think that on the men's side of it, it's usually the young, like low 30s is where you get that good mental strength and kind of like, guys grow for a while. So anyway, that's cool. That's a cool. Do you also go to school, right? You're a full-time
correct.
student?
Yep, full-time student, getting my PhD in industrial psychology. So,
Right. Now, you emailed me about your thesis, right?
Yes.
And I haven't done what I'm supposed to do, so I'm gonna do that today. I promise. I keep looking at it, going, jeez, I gotta do that. Yeah. So, so what else do you have going on? I mean, that's enough already. But
it is enough. Like it's more than enough. Like I have school. I do at least 40 hours a week just in classes and meetings. On top of that, I have all the actual schoolwork I have to do. And then I also teach. I'm a teaching assistant for the school, so I spend at least 20 hours a week doing that. And then I train,
yeah,
So I have 3 full-time jobs, and I do.
That's a lot. I know I do all the stuff I do and still try to make it to the gym. It's tough sometimes. I know. Definitely. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. So you teach also. So you're a teacher's assistant?
Yes.
Boy, man, you're exhausting me. And I do a lot. Well, that's awesome. So you're going to school in Virginia and you're from Springfield, Missouri? Is that what you were telling me?
Yep.
Right. Now, Zach, my coach, he's from Springfield also.
Okay, which Zach? Zach Cummings?
Zach
right?
Cummings, yep.
Okay, so he's from the initial gym that I trained at, Springfield
Really?
Club. So yeah, I'm from Springfield Fight Club. He's from Springfield Fight Club, and then Michael Johnson, Garrett Armfield. There's a few of us coming up the ranks from there that are really kind of showing that gym proud. So I went there up until the point that I moved here about 2.5 years ago.
And so you've obviously gotten into a training regiment there, and I got with it. You want to give your guys a shout out from there?
Yeah, sure. So now I've moved to Norfolk, Virginia. I train at the House of Muay Thai, and the biggest props that I have to them is my striking has improved more than times 10. I've just improved a lot as this fight kind of showed. I'm confident in my stand-up. I feel like I'm stronger than most girls, but also my speed and power is getting up there too.
That's awesome. Yeah, I caught you at the Invicta fights. If you remember, I was. I thought I recognized you just before you were super world famous and dropping elbows on your moms and all that stuff. I caught you at the Invicta fights. I don't know. It's been 1.5 years ago, maybe something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I chatted with you for a second. You were busy, but it was like, hey, what are you doing? I know you, and you're like, oh, hi. I was like, okay, I'm not famous. It's all good.
Yeah, sorry, I don't recognize everybody that comes up to me.
I don't usually wear my hat either, so that's what it is. It's got to be this full head of hair I got.
Right.
So what are your plans for the future? I mean, obviously we know you're going to get your PhD, but fighting wise, let's obviously you've just won your first ever UFC fight in exclamation point fashion. What do you want to see out of your future here?
I want to move up, be in the top 10, and have hopefully a title shot within the next 2 years or so. Work my way up the ladder to get there, and then once I get there, defend it, do whatever I can to hold the top position. I want to be done fighting though by the time I'm in my early 30s. I don't want to be doing it when I'm 40 years old, getting punched in the head and having brain damage.
Whoa! What does that mean? Well, let's hold on now.
For me, I just, I want to have a family and be out of the whole fighting thing. I just don't want to be doing it that long.
No.
Love doing it, and I'd love to coach after that and continue training, but not so much fight at that high of a level.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've been, I just turned 43, so I've been wrestling with the whole retirement thing. Now it didn't seem like such a hard decision 10 years ago. Like, okay, whatever, I'll quit when it's time. When it came time, I'm just like, it's hard. I stopped.
To let go of when you have the highest highs that can ever be done. It's hard to get away from. It's addictive.
What else is there? I mean, like, I'm thinking to myself, what? Okay, coaching, yeah. I just, and Zach, he's basically wanting to kind of integrate me into, some part of the management or coaching part of the business, and I think that's awesome, and I'm definitely I'm all on board with it. But at the same time, it's not something that I'm not taking it easily. Like, I've been asked to retire several times. Not asked. This is my family, the people that are close to me, my wife, saying that, hey, I mean, how long are you going to do this? Even, my mom, she's just like, she didn't come to any of my fights. I fought, this will be my 60th fight coming up that I'm going to take. So this will be 60 fights in, and I quit for a couple years when I was in my early 30s, and like just the sense of, I came back to it because like I had my kids. I had 3 kids in a matter of 5 years. Like I was trying to do what was right and be a good dad and all that stuff, but I was drawn back to it, and then. Now it's like I don't want to let go. Like, I don't know. It just like you said, it's the highest of highs, and there's just I don't see me finding anything that's going to come close to that. So
yeah, I understand. I try not to attach everything to one aspect of my life to where that's not a problem in the future, and I think that's part of the reason I'm going for the education and things of that sort. Like, I try to think of fighting as a means to an end, even though that's like my dream, my goals is to be world champion and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's not just to do that. It's to go on and buy property, invest in things, make something for my future. My future isn't just that fighting,
Right. I mean, we have to, anything that we want to do takes money in today's society. So I'm not a huge fan of money, but it is a resource to get what you want to do done in this world. So, you got to conform to whatever society, puts in place. And at this time right now, it's a monetary system. So we've got to go out and make money and use it to get things we want. And that be even fighting, you got to be able to go to a gym. You got to be able to, pay the fees at the gym. You got to be able to, get to work, all that stuff. So it's just, round and round we go. But it is like, when you look at it as just like on the whole scale, and this is a broad scale of just looking at it like a person, a human being that's a fighter who just happens to fight, and he's getting to his middle aged. It's tough. It's tough. I don't know. I don't know. Can't really find the words that I'm looking for here, but it's something that me and Zach have been talking about. We've been trying to get some kind of a plan together to shift it over into retirement. I love what you said about, just basically you've got a plan, but this isn't like the whole thing. This isn't all I've got. This is like, so that's probably something I should have thought of it. I mean, I got a career and all that stuff too. It's I just still, it's just tough, man. It's tough. It's like you don't want to accept getting old. I think it's more along the lines I don't even really remember what I fight for anymore. It's just because of I guess habit. But yeah, I don't know. You got to break that habit.
Yeah, it can be hard.
Yeah.
Like, I know just times I've had injuries or whatever else, it's been pretty devastating just because it's something I wanted to do and haven't been able to.
Yeah, that's I haven't been in the gym since my last fight also because of an injury, and I'm going stir crazy. So I started up a podcast. So thanks for coming on, by the way. This is my burning energy here on this podcast, and it actually took off pretty good. We're doing pretty good actually. It was
great.
So yeah, I actually had a website come up to me and asked me to start streaming it to them. So that's probably going to be implemented in the next couple of weeks. Right. So it'll eventually be. So we're already growing. So that's good.
Happy for you.
Right on. back to you. This is about you, not me. Is there anything else like you want to talk about or anything you need still need help with your thesis?
I do. If you're a fighter, a coach out there, anything like that, I did already run survey 1, so it's a little bit late, but I have survey 2 out there. Please contact me. I'll message you a link and fill it out. I have to have it filled out in the next like 3 days. So
Yeah, so don't wait till last minute like J-Dub did.
right, right.
Yes, she's going for a thesis. She asked me very nicely and politely if I would help her out. I said yes, and now I haven't returned her email. So now, yeah, just trying to get out of this without looking like too much of an asshole.
But yeah, it's over. If anybody's interested in the research too, hopefully my thesis will be done by the next semester. It's about how COVID has affected gym employees and professional fighters. So hopefully I'll come up with some interesting results and be able to kind of give some exposure to a population that hasn't really been studied that much.
See, she's way smart. So yeah, so let's talk just a little bit about that. I know I really don't like touching on the COVID too much with everything because it's all everybody talks about. What's it done for you? Like, I mean, what is it? How's it affected you over the last? We're going on almost a year now since this thing started. So,
well, for this past fight camp, it really didn't affect me much at all. But the one that I was supposed to make my debut for the UFC, it was hard to find training partners. I was just basically working with my coaches and like 1 to 2 guys that would show up randomly that were willing to come train, even though the gym was shut down. So that first, I'd say between March and June was really hard to find training partners and get the training in. But now my gym's up back and running basically like normal. Some people wear masks and things like that to train, but it's kind of a person by person, do what you want. And I definitely do not while I'm training. But of course we keep the gym clean, and I still go with less training partners than I had before, but it was more just for safety precautions. Now that I've made it to where I'm at, I don't need to be training with as many people.
no more heavyweights.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not
No
training.
more rolling with the big guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely can relate. Our gym was, I think Zach opened up, was one of the first gyms in the nation to open back up. It's actually spawned a whole lot of opportunities for our guys because we've been ready. We've had Kevin Kroom go in and win his debut, who was a huge underdog. I mean, we've had some very we've had some guys take advantage of the situation. Personally, I think this whole thing sucks bad. I think everybody does this to some level. I think that I would just like I think that what I really want to say I shouldn't, but I think that this thing is real. It doesn't choose who it affects more than the other. Like the same type of people will get it, and one will die, and the other one will not even feel a symptom. So I mean, it's this is a very strange sickness. But yeah, I'd say just be respectful to everybody, and if they want you to wear a mask, wear a mask.
Yep.
So Miranda, I've got bare knuckle fighting championships matchmaker on here. I can cut the interview off and we can just you can bounce, or if you want to stick around for a little bit and chop it up with him and I, you're welcome to do that.
I unfortunately have another thing coming up.
Okay. See, Zach is my podcast coach too. So he told me that I should have multiple guests on. He says, "Stop the dead time," and bro, stop talking about yourself. I was like, "What? That's my favorite subject." Like, so okay. So Miranda, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, no
Congratulations on your awesome UFC debut. Like, I've been watching you for a while. It's cool. I've been keeping up on your career. So just keep it up. And you got any shout outs? Now's the time.
Yeah, I appreciate the support. I, of course, have my sponsors. You guys can go on Instagram, follow me at fearthemaverick_HOMT. I have a Twitter that I just got done restarting back up. I used to be really bad about keeping up with that. So it's at Fear the Maverick. And then, of course, on Facebook, Miranda Fear the Maverick is my athlete page. But like Victory Beef, actually S2 Faction, which is based back there, they're still supporting me for a lot of my supplements and nutrition and things, so go check them out, and just look at my page for all the other people that I have supporting me. Like I have a lot of gear and equipment by HKA and Top Mount Apparel, and all those are kind of based back home too in Missouri and Illinois and areas like that. But thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Miranda. See you later.
Thanks.
All right, Miranda Maverick right there. Man, she's words don't even describe that girl as a beast, man. She's athletic, smart. Just won her debut in the UFC in just beast fashion. Congratulations to her, and good luck to her in her career. All right, now I'm going to bring on Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships matchmaker. If you guys heard about the bare knuckle, you better look it up because it's the fastest growing sport in the country right now. These guys are just basically duking it out. Bare knuckles only. It's you can wrap your hands up so you don't break any bones, keep your bones in place. But it's let's get Nate on here. He can tell a little bit better than I can. What's up, Nate? How you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for having me.
Now hold on, man. You look like you're outside enjoying some good weather.
Oh, bro, you have no idea.
Get out of town. Now, he's in Arizona. Is that right? You're in Arizona? Oh, he's got a pool, man. This guy, man.
Arizona, it's beautiful out here. It's 90 degrees.
Oh, boy.
I love it. I'm outside working on the computer.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, man, hey, thanks for coming on the show, dude. We're happy to have you here, man. I'm excited to hear about bare knuckle because it's something I've been wanting to try. So tell us a little bit about bare knuckle. To the audience, let's pretend like nobody knows anything and just describe it from scratch.
So, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is bare knuckle fighting. It's different than bare knuckle boxing or other combat sports. Company president David Feldman designed the sport, and which only allows boxing-style strikes with the bare fist, but it also allows types of clinching and punching in the clinch. It's 5 rounds. Each round is 2 minutes long, regardless if it's a regular fight or a title fight. We have our weight classes are on the 5s every 10 pounds. So for males, our typical weight class starts at 135, and it goes up to 205, and we have heavyweight. And for females right now, we're focusing on 115 and 125 as the 2 main weight classes. But it's exciting. It's with rounds only being 2 minutes and fighting in the clinch and all stand-up.
Yeah.
We have some warriors, male and female, that step inside the squared circle and now fighting toe the line as well in a boxing ring, and that go in there, and it's the most exciting sport in the world, and it's the fastest growing sport in the world right now.
It is exciting, man. It is there's no lag time. It's just right from the minute the bell rings, man. The dudes are throwing down, man. I mean, it's my style all the way. I really like watching it. Yeah, and it's not that brutal. It's not that brutal. If people think it is, it's not. It's just an old, in my opinion, an old fashioned pugilist match. A couple of guys just throwing down. It takes away the aspect of the kicking and takedowns. So there's it's still developing. And guys are coming out with new ways and styles to do well at this, and this is every day because it's such a young sport.
Absolutely. Look, when mixed martial arts started becoming popular, people liked it because of the brutality of it.
Right.
But let's face it.
Let's face it.
Yeah, in bare knuckle fighting,
chaotic violence.
you can only punch with a bare fist. So, as a fighter, would you rather get punched in the face with a bare fist, or would you rather have someone grab the back of your head and smash their knee into your nose? I mean, it's.
You're going to take more repetitive blows too. There's the factor there too, where you're the more and I'm an MMA guy, but I'm just a fighter. I'm a fighter. I boxed. I've MMA. I've done it all except for bare knuckle. I'm waiting for the call on that one from Nate here. But the thing is, I think that you get in boxing is you get repeated blows to the head. Goddamn, you get knocked down. A lot of times, I've been in that situation where goddamn your legs are working, but your brain ain't. You've been hit. You're drunk, punch drunk, and your legs are still working. You're looking down at dude, it's time to go down. Fall. Old Richard Pryor, he said, he's. You ever watch Richard Pryor? I know I'm old, but Richard Pryor did a stand-up where he decided he was going to box his dad. And he went. His dad hit him or something like that, and he was like his legs wouldn't fall, and Anyway, I've been there. Like it's funny because it's Richard Pryor, but then on top of that, there's some truth to it too. So, you stay up there, you keep getting blows to the head, and the repeated blows to the head is what really causes the serious damage. You get an initial, just a flurry of punches, and this happens in MMA, and a guy gets knocked retarded. They stop the fight. This is the same deal for bare knuckle, right?
Yeah, so what we find is that we have less injuries per 100 fighters than other combat sports. Now, we have more cuts. I mean, that's a fact.
Yeah, you're hitting with sharp objects.
You're catching knuckles on the face. So the fighters are prone to get cut a little bit more. But would you rather have brain damage?
I'll take the cut.
Or a facial laceration?
I'll take the cut. Chicks dig scars for one. Sorry to interrupt you. But chicks dig scars for one. For two, my brain is more important than my pretty looks. So.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, Dave's done a great job creating a sport that we won't even say it's safer. Let's just say it's no more dangerous than mixed martial arts.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, every fighter I talk to, I'm saying, hey, would you rather get kicked upside the head, elbowed, kneed, or punched? They're like, oh, punch me all day.
Yeah.
So fighters seem to agree with the physicians now because we have a ton of data, and it's more exciting.
It is.
Mixed martial arts, and I'm not talking about every fighter, obviously, but as a sport, in my opinion, has grown a little boring because fighters a lot of times now fight to play it safe and win.
Agreed.
Instead of going out there and trying to go for the finish.
Yep.
We don't have that in bare knuckle fighting. Watch BKFC up until November 3rd.
Bro, it looks like just some bikers getting in the middle of a ring and throwing down, man.
It's two well-trained warriors getting in there and exchanging punches. And sometimes it goes a distance, and a lot of times it gets stopped either by knockout, TKO, or via cut.
Right.
So we have a great sport. We have amazing athletes that always go in there and perform. And
more than willing. Like, you hear me.
Yeah.
I'm ready to sign up. Like, I'm just waiting for the call from Nate. And, and me and Zach are ready. So.
Yeah, and like I said, and right now in an era where a lot of promotions aren't even doing shows, and some
you guys are braving the storm.
We're doing 2 a month. On average, we did Toe the Line 1, we did BKFC on 9/11 for the tribute. Then we did on September 26th, 2 weeks later, we did Toe the Line 1. October 10th, we did BKFC Salina. October 16th, we had Toe the Line 2 with Nelson Promotions. So in a matter of, a month and a couple days, we did 4 events. I mean,
right.
That's a lot. And then, we turn around November 13th, we have BKFC 14. And
that's in Wichita?
November 13th is in Miami.
Okay.
We only have 6 tables left. And that wasn't, those
wow.
were expensive.
Yeah.
Were $100 to $300 a seat. And we have 6 tables left, maybe less. So we have
right on
tickets. And then December 4th, we're in Wichita for BKFC 15. And December 11th, we're teaming up with the Empire down in Biloxi for Toe the Line 3. And then we'll see what January has to hold. We were hoping to go to Key West in January, but it looks like Key West.
Oh, I want to fight on that show.
Yeah, it looks like they might have some restrictions. But we got a lot of big stuff coming up. BKFC and Toe the Line.
Yeah, that's awesome, and it is something to it's something to say, give these guys props. Give these guys props. They are braving the storm. Okay, and that's the same thing I say about FAC here in Kansas City. Like, these guys are putting on shows, even though there's this huge fear that is just being the fear everybody has, and then the other half of people that don't fear it and that think that the ones that fear it are assholes. You got this divide, and it's like the people that don't fear it are still afraid to do anything because what are they going to? What kind of backlash are you going to get from the people that fear it? So you get this kind of back and forth thing, and it's just with the gyms that opened, and still. There's a lot of factors involved here. This is something that the world has never seen before. So, to have businesses and promotions that are willing to go out and give this shit a shot, even though there's all these restrictions on there, and that it's hard to make money at it when you have restrictions. It's hard enough to make money on this stuff I used to promote, so I understand it's hard enough to make money off of these shows. Period. But then to do it when there's restrictions on too, like it's a scary, weird time, man. And for these guys to be doing this is commendable for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you go through the library and you watch all the BKFC events, look at the crowds from BKFC 1 up until, 12? I mean, our smallest event was a sold-out crowd. I think it was 2,831 people.
That's awesome, man.
Wyoming. And BKFC 1 was trending number 1 in the world on Twitter. So, I mean, people have an interest for this.
Yeah, no, it's big.
Our restricted crowd isn't because people aren't interested in the product. It's, we're going to arenas now that hold 10,000 people. You
can only sell so many tickets, right?
Yeah, in order to get 1,400 or 1,800 people in them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
well, and it hurts the venues too. The people that own these buildings, the businesses that are running these venues, it hurts them too. I mean, it's this whole thing sucks, man, to say the least.
As far as the venues, it does hurt them because a lot of the venues I'm talking to, they don't have a full staff. So when we were in Tunica for Toe the Line 1, I think he said he typically has like 31 or 39 people on staff. And it was, when we came there, it was him and I believe one other person. I mean,
holy shit.
They brought in other county workers and other personnel to staff the event tonight for concessions.
Wow, I mean, yeah, it's people are doing what they got to do. It's it's unfortunate. It's yeah. I
with the crowd restrictions, I mean, we had several events now, and we had a show where you look at it and you're like, this place isn't sold out, but they're telling us it's sold out because it's in 4 seats. And if you and I
every 4 seats, right?
Yeah. So if you and I go to the show, they can't sit other people next to us.
Right.
So that automatically halves that seats. So if we were set up, let's just say we were set for 1,000 and everyone came in pairs, 500 is considered a sold out show then.
Yeah.
Just for easy math for people.
Right.
Look, I mean, David has a phenomenal team. You've met a lot of the BKFC staff.
Yep. Good dudes.
We have great leadership, and we're working hard to find the best venues to allow fighters to perform in front of the largest crowds possible, and while still putting on the best fights. And for people that don't out there, you there? Did I lose you?
All right, we're back. Some technical difficulties there.
No problem.
Yeah,
no, I was
sorry. Go ahead.
For the people that don't want to come out to the events, but they still want to watch it, they can purchase the app, which is only $3.99 a month, and they can watch the live events for BKFC, for Toe the Line, for some other promotions that we're going to be signing here in the near future, plus all the shoulder content and all the past events. So there's a plethora of stuff for them to watch for the cheesy saying of less than a cup of coffee, at a fancy place a month.
Yeah,
I mean it's great.
Yeah. So that's so. You guys have been coming to Kansas a lot. Is that because their restrictions are not quite as like strenuous as some of the other states?
No, it's one. You have a phenomenal commission out there, and
Yes,
don't
yes.
tell them I say that.
Hey,
Uh,
I don't tell him I agreed. Don't tell him I
yeah,
agreed.
yeah. So you have
Yeah,
a
that Adam
phenomenal,
Rohrbach, man, he's something else.
absolutely. And I'm not taking anything away from the other ones because every state we're legalized in so far has had amazing athletic commissions to deal with. John Lewis down there in Mississippi, Patrick down in Florida. I mean, yeah, it's just two of them outside of Kansas, but Kansas has a phenomenal commission, and the location of it. There's just a ton of fighters that are willing to drive into Kansas to compete. So logistically, it just makes it easier.
It's a
Um,
middle state there,
yeah,
right in the middle.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you have fighters that are willing to come in from Iowa and everywhere else,
Oh,
Missouri.
well, I went to your tryouts the other day, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
You had the bare knuckle fighting championship tryouts in here in Kansas City, and I was blown away by how many people you had show up. There was guys from I believe Washington State and
Canada,
Florida. Yeah,
yeah,
there was a guy that drove up from
Georgia.
Florida.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
So
it was.
people want to fight for us, and it's tough. Like, put yourself in my shoes. I get 60 to 80 applications a day.
Boy,
So to go through all those, and then
that's too much.
yeah, then to look through them, find their link, check their record out, and it's not just about the record, but if a fighter is, let's say, 4-0
Yeah.
as a pro, but all four wins come by submission in the first round, what does that tell me about them as a striker? Nothing at all.
Right.
So I got,
So there's a question for you. When you're looking at you're looking at applications. What are you looking for in a fighter when it comes to bare knuckle fighting championship? What do you look for?
so right now, we have hundreds of fighters that I have knowledge of, so I know what they can do and what they can't do. Um, this is why the tryouts are so important. It gives fighters the opportunity to get in front of myself and other staff members to show us their abilities, from the basics, how they carry themselves, how they interview. It gives us their photos, so we have professionally taken photos should they get selected for an event. It lets us see how they move, how they throw their punches. Just because a fighter's undefeated doesn't mean they know how to throw a proper punch.
Right.
Maybe they're a standout wrestler. Maybe they're a phenomenal grappler. That stuff doesn't matter. So it's tough to look at someone's boxing or mixed martial arts record and say, yes, this person will or won't be a good bare knuckle fighter. Perfect example, Hernandez on the last card. Hernandez took the fight on literally 21 hours notice or 24 hours notice.
Been there.
It was so short. He
Right.
came in, he showed up on weight, and he fought an individual who was undefeated. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Jack because Jack is tough. He was in phenomenal shape. And I couldn't imagine the mental stress of going through 6 or 7 different opponents within 3 days of fighting. I mean, he had no way to prep for somebody. Hernandez has an upside down boxing record. I believe he's like 2-11, and he boxes at, I think, 154, 160. He came in there, fought a much larger opponent, and came away with the victory.
Yeah. So there's always that factor. There's always that factor in every sport, I think, but especially with newer sports, because you don't really know their recipe hasn't been set yet. You know what I mean? It's
Well, the thing is, if I wouldn't have seen Hernandez at the tryouts, would I have called a 2-10, 2-11 professional boxer to come fight someone who was about 4 pounds larger? And the answer is probably not. But he came to the tryouts. I was very impressed about how he moved, how he did his shadow boxing. People complimented on his power. And when he was working the heavy bag, he worked the heavy bag for 6+ minutes. And at the end, like was very little fatigue. And the tryouts, the fighters were there for a little over an hour doing constant workouts. So I knew that he had what it took to step into the squared circle. He took on a larger opponent and came out with the victory. So kudos to him.
I remember him from the tryouts too. He was one of the standout guys, I thought anyway. I used to matchmake myself, so I know how stressful it can be, especially come fight week when you guys are dropping off and whatnot. You got to deal with all that stuff, so I definitely feel your pain when it comes to trying to find somebody last second. I had a guy, Ty Alexander, who is a teammate of mine. On my last show, it would have been a year ago this month, actually. Man, he lost his fighter. He went through 3 opponents, and then the last one just didn't show up. Or no, let's see. I got I don't know, some weird excuse that bought too much weed or something. I can't remember, but like, yeah, he didn't show up. But we found him a guy, and I mean, this dude came in, had never fought before, and Ty's a trained killer. I mean, like, he's a trained killer. He's a little short guy that just like he's stacked. He's MMA all day, every day. He lives and breathes the shit. And this guy came in that had zero training, and just literally took the fight on. I talked to him that night, so less than 24 hours notice. Went and got his blood work done, and got everything done that he had to get done. And we had a guy for him within. He knew that he was going to fight again 5 hours prior, so 5 hours notice basically. Yeah, your blood works back. Let's do it. He shows up and ready to go. This guy drops Ty with a punch. Now, right away, the kid was pretty well built kid. You could see that he wasn't out of shape at all. He came in there and he had some really quick hands. I mean, he wasn't, the mechanics weren't there, but he was swinging for the fences. Man, he clipped Ty and dropped Ty. Now Ty got up, took him down, smashed him, and won the fight. But it was still like everybody's jaw dropped.
Yeah.
So you got that. You always got that factor in there, and that's. Yeah, I remember him from tryouts. He was one of the standout guys, I thought, just as far as like just having good form, hitting the bag well, and didn't get tired.
Yeah, but I'm glad he showed up at tryouts. I'm glad he stepped up last minute, took the fight, and we look to have him back. But that's why tryouts are so important, because at the end of the day, that gives me the closest assessment I can get next to actually watching the person perform. But that's why I also asked Dave to start Toe the Line Fight Series, because Toe the Line, now not only am I matchmaking BKFC, but now we have this fight series where I team up with local and regional promoters, and I
tell us about that. Tell us about that. I don't know if I've read about that.
Yep. So Toe the Line Fight Series is my company that I work with local and regional fight promoters to put on bare knuckle fighting events. I am not the promoter of the show. I work with a local promoter. I go in there and I assist with matchmaking. Sometimes I help find the venue. We bring in Sean Wheelock and Joe Warren for our commentators.
Yeah, I know Sean.
Yep, and we bring the production company to produce and stream the event. That's the extent of it. I can do more for them if they ask, but that's pretty much the extent.
So basically, it's kind of like the minor leagues of bare knuckle, maybe.
It's a local
AAA club.
So, yeah, I mean, the first show we did with Legacy Promotions, Cody did a phenomenal job as the promoter. We scrambled 3 weeks prior because the venue changed. Then we had to get a new ring. So he did a lot there. And then
there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
People don't really understand. And then you got the whole COVID thing too. So it's tough these days.
Oh yeah, the second show we did with Nelson's Promotions, that one went a lot easier because Nelson already owns his own ring and he already had the facility secured. So we came in, we matched 6 fights for that card, and it was a sold out venue down there in Plant City, Florida. The third one's going to be with Empire Fighting Championships in Biloxi. Again, a staple promoter down there who typically does mixed martial arts, but he has a venue secured. We have a ring secured, and we'll be doing 8 or 9 bare knuckle bouts on that card. And he's already has over half the card matched. So I'm going to bring in the main event, co-main event. It's going to be a great night down there in Biloxi on a Friday night.
Man, that does sound like fun.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, let's get some shout outs out there, man. You got some respects to pay or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. First off, thank you for having me. It's my first time on your show.
We're going to have you back.
Yeah, absolutely. I've known you for a little while now, and excited to see you out there in Kansas. Tiger Life energy drink. It's a phenomenal product. I know a lot of people that don't like energy drinks, but Tiger Life is the cleanest energy drink I've ever had. Pick one up, try it out. You can order it online or probably get your convenience store if you're in the Northeast. Fusion CBD products, another one of our great sponsors we have. I just want to say thanks to them as well because they've been supporting us, BKFC, and now Toe the Line for a long time. And for everyone who wants to get a hold of me, BKFC _matchmaker is how you get a hold of me on Instagram. I don't really use Facebook nearly as much anymore because it seems like a lot of people are transitioning over to Instagram. But check us out. And then the app
It's
is,
an age group thing.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's an age group thing. We're becoming dinosaurs, so we gotta
Yeah.
like yeah, that's me. I'm so like in tune to Facebook. Like I need to. I'm trying to shift the whole social media over towards Instagram and some of the newer outlets. But sorry,
Yeah.
continue.
Oh, no, it's all good. And then you can purchase our app either at your app store, it's Bare Knuckle TV, or you can go to the website bktvapp.com and download it there and purchase it there for only $3.99 a month. Check it out. If you want to see what's about before you purchase it, there's some free content on there. Or for those that want to hop on YouTube and check out some of the highlights, by all means, follow us, subscribe on YouTube and on our other social media platforms.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah. And like Nate was just saying, like I've known these guys for a little while. I've had the pleasure of working with them. I helped out with their Kansas City tryouts. I had a great time. It was fun. Yeah, these guys are straight shooters. Are good guys. This is again. I can't stress enough that these are some of the few people that are brave and forward in this industry right now. And it's hard to find fights. I do see more and more promotions popping up online. I see people advertising about needing fighters, and that's good. That's 100% good. Because 2 months ago, it wasn't like that at all.
No.
I could tell you, I got a fight, and it was, man, it was only the prospects and the guys that sell a lot of tickets, and I being the one that sells a lot of tickets, those are the only two that were getting fights back then. So it's good to see that some of the lower level guys are getting opportunities again, man. That's it's been tough on everybody, man.
Oh yeah, well, it was so tough out there for a little while that March, April, May, and June, we weren't even able to do a no crowd show. Like we were trying just to
Man.
do a small 5 or 6 bout no crowd event just to
Yeah.
keep the fighters active. Yeah, but we went from February 15th to July 24th. I mean, that's a huge gap in downtime for
Dude,
a new sport. Like we're not even just a new promotion. This is an all new sport. And there's not many fighters out there in the United States that train strictly bare knuckle fighting. But we're starting to see a lot more pop up. This sport is definitely growing. And like I said, hopefully we see you out there in Kansas, and let's talk sometime and get you on a card.
For sure, I'm in. That's kind of the biggest thing, man. Like, man, this I can tell you what this time off has done for me. It has absolutely been a nightmare. I especially a guy my age, it's not easy to get back into the swing of things when like I was going pre-COVID. I was probably in one of the best fighting shape I've ever been in my life. Like the training regiment was strict. I mean, I was there and we were just smashing up. COVID hits, man, and I tell you what, it took me 3 times as long to get back into shape as it did them young guys, man. And and it's part of it. It's just how it goes. It's just how it goes. It's still fun to fight. So 10 months off, man, I went from February till just here a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever it's been. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. So whatever, count the months, 9 months, something like that. That's a lot for this guy.
All right.
I fought every 2 months for the last 13 years almost. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Cool,
Yeah.
man.
All
Well,
right,
let's
brother.
be in touch. Thank you again
Well,
for having
thanks.
me.
Thanks for being on, man. We'll talk to you later, Nate.
Yep, see ya.
All right, see you. All right, guys, that's Nate. Nate Shook from Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Good dude. And yeah, we look to get a fight on there. I'd like to try it one time. I think it kind of that type of fighting conforms to my style, and my coach agrees. Anyway, I need to give my shout outs, and that's one here right here behind me is Straight Edge Barbershop. These guys are top notch dudes. They cut my hair. And they've been doing it for the last 3 years. Carlos is my guy, but there are 3 guys down there. I had Carlos on here. If you guys go back to my first ever podcast for Digital Alchemy Productions, and it was with Carlos. Check him out; he's a good dude. I was gonna pull up a picture of my mohawk. He used to hate cutting my mohawk, but it was freaking awesome. My mohawk was so awesome, like just the awesomeness would just trailed right back down the back of my head. I hope he's watching because he hated cutting my mohawk. I hated that mohawk. He never even told me until after I grew the hair back out. See, and I still got a full head of hair, so I'm not wearing the hat to hide that. Anyway, Carlos. We're going to go Mohawk again. Is that cool? No? Anyway, shout out to Straight Edge Barbershop. I got to get them guys props. Always, they're good people. Been supporting the community for a long time. I was with Carlos from day one. He opened up a shop in Lansing, Kansas, and then he's now resides in downtown Leavenworth. I've been getting my hair cut from him since day one. They do straight razor shaves. If you've never had a straight razor shave, man, you are missing out. Those are awesome. It's like I call it a dude's facial. So the ladies go get facials, the dudes go get straight razor shaves. So if you're going to do that and you're in the Leavenworth area, go holler at Straight Edge Barbershop and Carlos. He'll hook you up. Also, I better pull these guys up. So Access Rejuvenation is a sponsor of the show. They are hold on, I can't multitask. I don't know if anybody knows. I'm trying to get an assistant in here to be the Jamie of the Joe Rogan's Jamie to J-Dub's assistant, whatever. So yeah, an assistant in here to help me multitask because I suck at it. All right, we're still here. God, see what I mean? I suck at it. So we're going to get this right. Bam. All right. Pow. All right. Access Rejuvenation. These guys are the sponsors of the show. They are a hormone replacement therapy place. I'm going to have him on there Monday. His name is Daniel Draper. He will be on the show Monday, so he could tell you more about this stuff than I can. I know that they do testosterone replacement therapy. They do just basically all hormones. That's male and female. They go and they do scientific testing and all that stuff to make sure your levels are all where they should be. Females, they have a weight loss program there that is phenomenal. It's like the ladies that I've talked to that have done it, they have all lost weight. It's they again do the hormone testing, make sure your hormones are where they're supposed to be, make sure your thyroid's where it's supposed to be, and then they kind of give you an outline of what kind of food you want to get and any kind of help you need at all. They got coaches, everything. I'd be better off just letting Daniel explain it. If you want more information on that, you can call the number or you can tune in Monday for Daniel Draper. But other than that, man, this is J-Dub in the show here. If you want to be on the show, get a hold of me. We'll get you on there, especially small businesses. Again, we're out for those guys. Make sure you're shopping local and making sure you're rather than go to Walmart, if you can buy it here from a mom and pop business, do it because them people are struggling more than anybody knows. So peace out. Over here, pow. Oh, my hand is half. And I got to get that green screen fixed. All right, peace out, people. See ya.